We're going to show you how to be an Amazon Alexa developer in 1 minute. Holy dog.
That is a huge dog. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Caleb,
Yes,
how did you become an Amazon Alexa developer?
completely by accident.
Really?
Do you want to hear the story?
I want to hear it.
Okay, so the story begins in a small co-working space in Connecticut.
Okay.
I was helping my friend John out. He said, hey, you hang around me, I'll help you find a job. But when you hang around, I've got a few tasks. One, I just bought this little black dot. It's called Alexa. And I was like, that doesn't look like Alexa. It looks like a black dot. So I call her Alexa and program her to, like, you know, print stuff from my computer and turn on the lights. And I was like, okay. I've never seen this thing before, but I'm going to go for it. That is a lot of scooters behind us. Okay. So the next step was I just built super simple stuff where you could ask it, like, Alexa, what's the Wi-Fi password? Alexa, where's the printer paper? You know, what kind of coffee do we have? When does this place close?
Yeah.
And then we upgraded a little. We got one of those smart locks where you could be like, Alexa, unlock the door. Let me tell you, that's terrifying. And then while doing this, it was a co-working space with about 20 people, and one of the ladies overheard what we were saying and said, wow, my brother-in-law is really into that stuff. You should talk with him. So we set up a 15-minute phone call, and I ended up talking with this guy for 2 hours. He lives in Boston. He's got like this whole workshop where they build Alexa skills for companies, and he sort of took me under his wing. He's like, well, he didn't take me under his wing quite yet. This is actually my hack that I'm going to share with you for how to get mentorship. He said, I have a lot on my plate, but it would be really cool if we could try this. And this was like putting Alexa on a Raspberry Pi, something that there were tutorials online. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I spent 2 weeks doing that in my spare time, emailed him like 2 weeks later and was like, yo, like this is what I found out. This is what I got done. He's like, wow, I can't believe you actually followed through with that and explored that. Let's chat. So we chatted and he's like, you know what if we did this plus this? So we started building up. This was kind of a spare time thing. And eventually he's like, okay, you're obviously interested in this and pretty good at it. And you want a job? And I was like, okay. So I started doing some just like part-time work for this project that was super secretive and I couldn't tell anyone about. And while doing that, I flew to San Francisco to visit my brother. And I didn't tell people what the project was, but I started telling people when they asked, well, what do you do? I was like, oh, I build Amazon Alexa stuff. And they're like, cool, we want that, we'll pay you. I was like, whoa, wait, what? So then I started building Alexa skills. I built a few small Alexa skills and then found it a little harder to catch on. Because the problem with Alexa skills is you can't sell them, they're not apps.
Right.
So you can't sell them for $2, you can't sell them for $3. The only real way to make money on them is to sell them to a company and get, a few thousand, maybe, a lot of money for it if you're gonna live in San Francisco.
So really sticky though. Like once you have a skill engaged, like the retention rate isn't crazy high on Alexa skills.
Yeah, but as an individual person,
right,
they're big projects, so you can't really just...
They're pricey.
They're pricey. So I said, okay, these are pricey. I need more of a portfolio to show to people. So I contacted 10 companies in the city that I just met people at and was like, hey, let me build this for you for free. So I built them like, these basic things, the flash briefings, different like basic questions and answers. I hooked one up to Slack. I thought that was pretty cool. Nice. And then while doing that, once again, had more conversations. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm building Alexa skills for these 5 companies. Yeah. And people are like, cool, we'll pay you for that. So it just kept ramping up to the point where I'd worked with enough companies, I'd learned enough about Alexa, Fire TV, like new stuff comes out every week. So just discussing with all these people what they really wanted, because I knew what I wanted to do on it. But after talking with 10 other companies and seeing what they all wanted, I sort of understood what the industry wanted, what directions they want to go, which is still changing.
So, all right, like how did you find out what the industry wanted?
I talked with a lot of people.
Who'd you talk to?
Like 10 or 12 different companies. Yeah. I went to meetups. I talked with the company where my brother works. I would meet people on the street, end up talking with them about their ideas. Everyone's got ideas. So with an app, you sort of know what the steps are. There's like the home screen and the app screen. But with Alexa, it's so wide open that like you talk with 10 different people and they've got 10 different ideas of what direction it's going to go. Cool. But you can sort of see trends. And so once I understood the trends of the industry, I actually met this guy here. We started building skills for Echo Show, for podcasts and YouTubers. Yep. And sort of tried to incorporate all the trends that people wanted into that. So putting up your own content, the search engine on top of it, that's something that everyone wants through voice. And what are some of the other things that we try to do? Sharing,
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of things that every single developer needs to do. I mean, I could take a little bit from my perspective. I came at it from I want to talk to computers and I want to talk to AI. So dove heavily deep into AI and found it extremely lacking. Like the AI that we have today, went to like the Chatbots conference, went to another AI conference. There's some amazing like one-offs, but we're not ready to like fully talk to computers and have a full conversation. So you kind of have to hack it. And
That's half the fun of Alexa.
yeah, you have to like hack the conversation. And like how we hack the conversation on Alpha Voice is the search engine. If you don't have like a search engine backing your Alexa skill, it's gonna be very rudimentary. People aren't gonna enjoy it. It's just gonna be so lacking in its depth. You're gonna have to take people through a linear experience. You're not gonna be able to ask somebody a question or ask the skill a question. So like how I came into it was I built a lot of shitty skills. Like they were really bad. And what always happened every single time was I got ear fatigue. I would get pissed off at my skill because I didn't want to use it. So I built something I didn't want to use and I'd get so angry. I'm like, you put all this time, you put all this effort, and like, this is gross. Why would I want to listen to this thing? So the concept before I met you, before we started working on like the user experience and like the awesome interaction map that we had a decent idea, which was we had a decent idea, which was high quality audio and content is what Alexa right now is best at. So feeding that high quality content and getting somebody through that story to get to that content is probably what the skill can be best at. So serving content and the story to get to the content. I met this dude, like 15 skills in under his belt, and he came up with like all of these ideas on like how to get people through that. And so that's where we came up with the interaction map and the user experience for Alpha Voice. On top of the search engine, we try to make it colloquial. We try to make it easy responses, adding yeses and nos towards the end. If you want to become a developer, sure, you can go to tutorials and code, but if you want to become an expert, it's just going to be talking to 10, 12 different companies, building 15 skills and apps.
And then doing it. That's one of the things I want to say about 15 skills is when I talk to new people, they're like, oh, so what do you have out there? And I'm honestly embarrassed to tell them about those 15 because they're horrible, because every one is twice as good as the last one. Because you learn new features on Amazon, you run into more errors, you figure out how to fix it. So I don't want to show people my past work. I want to show them maybe the last one or two. And so that's one of my pieces of advice is for becoming a developer is just start, because they're going to start out simple. I think my first one was a guessing game.
Right.
What number I'm thinking. The next one was like counting cards for blackjack. And then
That's
it moved,
pretty cool.
And now we're on like full scale search engine and video content all over the place.
Transcribing video, transcribing audio, auto-compiling audiograms from audio content to dynamically pull in like wave files and visuals to hook people up.
To what's next? I don't even know.
Yeah.
It changes every day. Amazon puts out new features. So like we're staying on top of it. Just got to get started if you want to stay on top of it.
And if you don't want to actually go into the code and become a developer, you can simply go to Alpha Voice, start playing around with it. You get to understand the concepts, upload some audio files, upload some video files. You'll get to see the interaction model. You'll get to see the core of like how a skill interacts with the Amazon developer platform. You can launch an easy skill. It's super simple to do. Just go to alphavoice.io and pick a YouTube channel, pick a podcast, pick some audio, video files, test it out. It's a good place to learn, start, and understand some of the limitations of the platform itself.
Yeah, and then play with the skill that you made. Ask it for YouTube videos and understand the flow that's happening. On your iPhone, you can tap next, you can tap back, but really listen to the skill in voice. What are the options that you have? And then you'll start to understand how audio flows are different than phones and videos. And
yeah, this reminds me of this podcast meetup I went to where you need to become a fan. Like if you really want to be a good developer of Alexa skills, you need to be a fan of Alexa skills themselves and use them. Because then you're going to understand and appreciate what it takes to make a good Alexa skill. And then you're going to take some of the learnings from each skill that you use and then make it better yourself.
That's where I learned all the new features. You play with a new one, you're like, they just texted me. They just texted me.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that.
I'm stealing that. LifeBot. Shout out to LifeBot. It's awesome.
But actually.
Yeah. I'm good. I mean, that's how I became a developer. built a lot of shitty skills, figured out what Alexa's good for, and over time built a pretty awesome platform for podcasters and YouTubers.
Yeah, we'll throw some links below where you can check out tutorials for how to build your own skills and where you can check out pre-built skills like Alpha Voice and where you can make your own.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.